What is up? I want to start this video by apologizing for the lack of videos this week, but unfortunately I've been so sick in bed, like the sickest I've ever been. It's been a journey. I learned some new things about my body and things that it can do that I never knew that it could do.
Coming out of me like lava!
Nonetheless, as you can see, I'm back on my feet now. Still feeling a little bit hashigan, but nonetheless, I'm just so happy to be out of bed because I was going crazy. Nonetheless, on Friday, I got an email that was like the most exciting email I've ever gotten in my entire life. Cranked it open, all of a sudden I felt so much better, and that is because we have been invited to compete at the LZ World Tour in October, on October the 20th and 21st at Calder Park Raceway. This is the most insane thing ever to me, and I feel like it's a combination of all the hard work that we've put in on this channel over the past 4 years to be invited to such a prestigious event with this insane lineup of drivers, and we're one of the competitors is absolutely mind-blowing. Mad Mike, Adam LZ, Colette Davis, Jimmy Oakes, Grant, Rudnick, not to mention everyone from New Zealand, Australia, all the competitors, and we're on that list, which just absolutely blows my mind. Also on the website there's like different VIP meet and greet groups, and I've got me in there with Adam LZ and Colette Davis and a bunch of amazing people, and then there's me. I have massive imposter syndrome about that because to see me in that group with those people is just absolutely mind-blowing. Of course, I have you guys to thank for all of the support on the channel, as well as all my partners, SP Tools, Two Step Garage, Drop the Anchor Clothing, but seriously, this is freaking insane. So obviously we're going to have the E36 there and we'll be competing in that, but that also means that we have a deadline set for our rear-wheel drive Evo build. That is because we will be bringing this as a backup car to drive. And as you can see, it is not close to being finished, and we now have 7 weeks to complete this thing. And also, I'm going to Japan next Tuesday after Battle Royale as well for a week, so that is going to be mental, but that also takes a week off our schedule, so there's that. This is a good video to do a little bit of an update on the cars and where they're at. So we'll start with the E36. This thing has been absolutely purring at the last bunch of events. All I've done is throw fuel in it and tires at it, and this thing absolutely hums. I did a compression test today on the engine, and we got 6 healthy cylinders. Stock motor, cut ring head gasket, ARP studs, 14 pound of boost, 270 kilowatts, which is about 350 odd horsepower, and this thing absolutely rips. So what I'm doing to this at the moment is actually just making a bunch of small improvements, little things like wiring. Like even these headlights here, I basically gutted the whole headlights and we'll put angel eyes in, and I made little brackets just so we have more room behind the headlights so we can have a dose pipe on the turbo. All these little fundamental things that add up to a much better car and a much more reliable car. Obviously going to something like LZ Fest, we want to be in absolutely tip-top shape because the field is stacked. The Fivo is exactly where you guys saw it last time. Everything has slowly come together. As you can see, I've actually started to do a bit of body work on the front bumper to start to mold everything together. But now that we know that we have 7 weeks to complete this thing, it'll be all hands on deck. So Bailey's coming in this week to finish the wiring, which will be a big milestone to get done. The fuel system is now in. We need to plumb up the fuel system. Then we can actually run the car under its own power with its own fuel system and just start to get this thing up to temperature, plumb up the radiator, put the power steering and everything in, start to do the body work, paint this thing, finish the interior, do the exhaust, tune it. So it's just a whole bunch of little things, but this thing should be basically driving under its own power within the next 2 weeks, which is really, really exciting. Not sure if we'll get to do like exhibition laps or anything in this thing at the LZ Fest, but it will be there in case the E36 decides to do anything weird and we have to drive another car, which is pretty mental. The Datsun has been sitting in the corner ever since we painted it and made it look beautiful, and it's sitting patiently waiting for a tune. I also got some new seats for it as well that we need to install, but basically this thing has been put on the sidelines while we finish the rear-wheel drive Evo. I'm aiming to have this thing out and about for summer. Not sure if we'll have it at the LZ Fest because I think we're gonna end up maybe bringing 3 cars to the LZ Fest, and that's hard enough as it is. To bring the Datsun as well would be crazy. Maybe I'll get one of my friends to drive it down. We'll put it in the show and shine or something. Yeah, the Datsun's kind of on hold for now. Really keen, and I know a bunch of you guys are keen to get it dyno tuned, but as it sits, it's kind of being neglected, so I'm sorry, Datsun. But then we move on to our beautiful compound turbo AU Falcon. This build was so much more popular than I expected it to be, and because of that we're going to be putting a fuel pump in this thing, we're going to be putting injectors in this thing, and we are going to be throwing it on the dyno, making some power with it. And I'm still waiting to hear back to see whether we may have this thing at LZ Fest for round 2 of the AU Falcon versus the VL Wagon. see if we can go a little bit bigger, a little bit spicier with those pops and bangs and really put on a show for the crowd. This radiator hose is still exploded and she's still chilling there, but all it needs is a top radiator hose and me to chuck a thermo fan on it, and effectively this thing is like ready to go. I didn't really aim to keep this car, but because it's been so popular and I actually kind of really like it for what it is, I think it's going to stay on the channel for a little while longer. You're welcome to jump in the comments and let me know what you think we should do with it, but like, I'm really keen to take it to a drag strip. I want to take it to a burnout competition and just really put it through its paces, because it's kind of a fun car and it draws a lot of attention. Now we're up here on the mezzanine floor that we built for the shop, because we're literally running out of room in this place. And that is because the last rebuild we need to talk about is the drift car. This thing has been going bonkers on one of the shorts that I posted. A bunch of you guys have subscribed because of it, so welcome to the channel. But this thing, we're definitely going to be having a little bit of fun with, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, because I have, you won't believe it, or maybe you will believe it because it goes in theme with the channel, but I have a turbo on the way for this thing. I am not sure how that is even going to work, because this thing doesn't even run properly right now without a turbo. But of course, I had to get a turbo to see if we can kind of make this work. It's the world's smallest turbo, so it's going to be really interesting. But basically, we're going to be attacking the drift car. I really want to pull it all down, make the frame super nice, paint the frame, put it all back together really nice and tidy. We need to put a hydraulic handbrake on it as well, because currently it's just a foot brake. But I want to put the turbo on it, and I want to see if we can get a turbo spool in and making some turbo noises on that wee 50cc motor, which would be absolutely hilarious. So that is the update. I cannot thank Adam LZ, David Drift Games, Jason and Josh and the full Keeper Reek team enough for this insane opportunity. And yeah, we're just going to absolutely bring the noise. But of course, first up we have Battle Royale Round 4 this Friday at Calder Park Raceway in the E36. Currently sitting 9th in the championship, but I'm pretty sure we can take somewhere around the top 5. This is the final round. If we do well, we can definitely move up in the standings, and that's what we're aiming to do. Bring the noise, have a good time, thrash the hell out of the E36. But just insane news. I'm so pumped. Hit that subscribe button if you aren't subscribed. Hit that like button. This just means there's a huge amount of content coming your guys' way, so I hope you are pumped. The Fevo is going to be complete and it's going to be insane. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. You peace. Bye. LZ Fest, baby. Let's go.